our desire to succeed, that's today's subject. And I have 3 points that I'm going to cover with you. The one is, what is it that drives you? Number two would be, what keeps you hungry? And I'm not talking about food, okay? And the number three would be, what or why is it that you do what you do? So these are the three subjects that I'm going to cover with you, and we're going to unpack it. And I'm hoping that it will be very helpful to you. Anyway, hi there. My name is Ellen, and I appreciate you tuning in. Thank you so much. Welcome to my channel. So the first one would be, what drives you? So is it your passion for something that you truly engage in and are you really believe in what you are doing? Uh, is it maybe a commitment to society, that you want to give something back to society, that you feel like you have received a lot, but somehow you now want to give back, or perhaps balance it out somehow, that you are receiving, hopefully, all the time, and now you also want to be giving back somehow. So what drives you, right? So if it is your passion, fabulous. And if you can keep it alive, even better so. But I think that when you start something, you need a drive, be it to apply for a new position. Obviously, you got to look for a job first. You might find something that it is of interest. Then you put together your resume, you go in for an interview. And if you're really driven to receive that offer, you will go in there with confidence, and you'll most likely get the job. So it is something about when you're passionate, it comes across, and people can sense it, they can feel it, they can see it in your eyes. They know that you are driven, and so it's nothing. You can't fake um, something. You can't fake real feelings. People always pick up on it. It's very interesting. But figure out what really drives you to succeed. Now, if it is ego, well, that's a whole different ball game. Now, if something, if you have a game plan for something new in your life and it is ego driven, you will most likely only get to a certain point, and then it will deflate, just because ego, it's often a turn off to other people. They sense it, and when ego is involved, people are not very eager to help you, so to speak, because they know it comes from a place that's not real. That's just puffed up, so to speak. It's pretension, right? Somewhere down deep that might not be all that authentic, and people are often turned off to those kind of things. So make sure that when something drives you, that it really comes from your inner core, and yet you feel really strongly about it when you go about whatever it might be it a new workout, be it applying for a position, like I said, even going in for a bank loan, or or talking to someone wanting to cover something for you. When you are driven, and passionate about it, um, usually people at least want to listen to you, want to listen to what you truly have to say. And then the next one would be, what keeps you hungry? So when you're already in it, so to speak, sometimes it's not always easy to find that hunger each and every day. You might have a day where you're super hungry, and the other day it kind of tapers off a little bit. So it's always good to have some people around you who kind of keep you inspired. And having a routine always helps, of course, because for me it's music. For others, it's perhaps, who knows, creating a fantastic breakfast dish, right? Try something different, and they're inspired, right? They got that hunger back for what they believe in. But the never-ending hunger for knowledge, that's one thing that I'm thinking is truly important, to always remain hungry to the last day we take our breath. I think that's really, really important. Curiosity, same thing, right? Never stop being curious, because there's so much behind curiosity. When you stay curious, you are so open, and it's almost like an open vessel, and people just pour in with information. that you can use for your life. So be it, you're going out with people and you've never met them, and you ask them questions, open-ended questions, hopefully, and you can learn so much from them if you are just stay curious. Even when you are looking for to perhaps open up your life in a way to where you are looking for something new and challenging, remaining curious about what might await you, at the end of the tunnel, so to speak. Um, that ought to keep you hungry, right? Hungry for knowledge, curiosity, and at the same time, it also helps with the personal growth. I'm thinking. So if you can stay hungry for life, for for new beginnings, for things that you've never done before, right? For new conversations. I mean, children are naturally super curious. They don't care about what anyone thinks when they are between age of 1 and 4. They're so curious. They will climb up on counters. They will do whatever they can try to get away with because they are curious about, okay, so what if I do one, know how to do A, what happens, right? And so they are eager to get to B. And so for some people, curiosity stops at some point. And I find it really sad. You can almost see it in people's eyes at times. You should really sometimes take a look at people when you speak to them. Is there like a I don't know, like a little flame in their eyes? Is there happiness? Is there curiosity? Is there life in those eyes? Or are they dull and tired and kind of almost like glazy looking, where there's nothing in there? So why would anyone want to stay engaged with people like that, right? So always make sure that you are keeping that hunger for knowledge awake. Read things that you've never read about. Uh, watch documentaries that perhaps have never really interested you, but somehow you feel, what, maybe I go into a different direction and try something very different. Stay open to new relationships with friends and loved ones. If they have others that they want you to meet, neighbors. Knock on doors, so to speak, not actual doors. Although if you want to do that, you can, but do remain open, hungry, and curious. I think that is just adding so much to your life. Number three would be the why. Why are you doing what you are doing? Hopefully, you are happy doing what you are doing, but if you see opportunity for some growth, um, then definitely with open arms, just embrace it. Um, if you believing in success is not always easy, obviously. If it is in a knowing that you are on the right path, I think nothing can stop you. I mean, obviously, I can only speak for myself and people that I've spoken to and what drove them, what kept them hungry. Um, it's also about tuning in and do it, by prayer, by meditation, whatever works for you. But I'm thinking it is really important to keep an eye, so to speak, on how you feel inside when you make decisions. And before you make those decisions, if you have a great idea, maybe sleep on it, and then the next day, tackle it again. I have often gone to bed at night with an idea, and the next morning I was like, ugh, maybe not, right? So it's always a good thing. And there's a saying where they go like sleep on it. And there is absolutely nothing wrong with taking some time if you have a grand idea. But it can start with small things, just like, seeds, right? I mean, a few weeks ago, I actually bought some seeds and I planted them, and they are now growing. So nothing happens overnight, seldom anyway. So, growth, real growth, takes time, and you have to be patient. In the meantime, of course, you can keep educating yourself and 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 tweak things and learn about them, more so that you feel that you are perfecting your game, so to speak, right? Your idea, right? Um, if it is a conviction by others, then I have to ask you, whose life are you living? So you came here to live your life. And I know that a long time ago, a wise old man told me once that either you work for others and help them do well, financially perhaps, in any way, honestly, or you work for yourself and then take care of your own growth seeds, so to speak, right? So you water your own seeds, your own plant, and you grow. Um, so many obviously have to work for others. And I'm thinking that if you eventually um, find something that makes you happy too and fulfills you, and perhaps can run with it down the road, then even better so. Sometimes, different types of positions, jobs, and what have you come into our lives to perfect our journey. So from that, we gather a little bit of, a little bit here, a little bit there, and we are perfecting what we might be anticipating in the future. So as you know, you are watching me now, I started a YouTube channel. And when you watch the first ones, they're probably not that great. But, sometimes you just kind of have to go out there and do it. Because if you always wait for the right moment, you might pass that moment. Get you might never get the confidence to just do it. And I'm thinking sometimes if you believe in yourself and you have a desire to succeed and you truly feel it on the inside, then honestly, there's nothing that can stop you. And I've thought about the YouTube for a while now, and I've been on since Mother's Day. And I thought that was the best time to start, right? Girl power. But I knew that it wouldn't grow overnight. I mean, Rome wasn't built overnight either. Everything takes time to grow. And I must say, it's growing slowly. And I am grateful for that actually, because sometimes if you have one big boom, and if you go back to these channels who had one big boom, there isn't much that follows because they ran out of ideas somehow. And sometimes they stop altogether. So sometimes I think, not sometimes, but I think always it is better to start slowly, but eventually you get there. So I'm thinking if you have a desire to succeed, you know, it's okay if it doesn't happen overnight. Be patient with yourself, and eventually you get where you want to go. So be patient, and keep an eye on your drive, on your hunger, on your curiosity, and you will eventually get where you want to go. And obviously, if you still have to work in the meantime, then you do so, but try to balance it out a bit. You know, give to work, obviously, because you earn a paycheck there, it's only fair, but also work on yourself and figure out what you want to do in your next chapter. Because we always have another chapter. Seldom does one start one job somewhere and they would stay at that location, at that place, and that position forever. It doesn't happen. We all grow and develop, hopefully. So keep growing, keep staying curious, and you will eventually get there. So your desire to succeed is possible. Okay, so just stay focused, and you will reach your goal. I'm sure of it. So I thank you so very much. Please like and share if you care. And subscriptions are always free. And I will come up with another video this Friday. So it's always, well, actually tomorrow. And so Friday and Tuesdays are new videos that are coming out. And next time we do something more soulful, perhaps. So until then, you have a wonderful Friday, wonderful weekend, and I'll see you another time. Thank you so much for tuning in. I appreciate it.